Yo, how's everyone doing? Welcome back for some Forza Motorsport 6 gameplay, and today I just want to talk with you about Forza Motorsport 7 a little bit. And first thing I want to do though is ask you, how are you feeling about Forza Motorsport 7 from the gameplay we've seen, the cars that we've seen, and all the information that we know about the game so far, which in case you have missed everything, I'll leave a link or two down in the description so you can go check out some gameplay and see what you think about the game. But be sure to comment anything you're thinking at all, the cars that you like that you saw, the gameplay, the graphics, anything that comes to your mind and how you're feeling, and also whether or not you're planning on getting Motorsport 7. But first thing that I want to say is I personally prefer Horizon. I love Horizon games, and ever since Horizon 1 came out, I have always preferred that over Motorsport. But the thing is, I started playing Forza during Forza Motorsport 3 and 4, and they were both fantastic games, and honestly Forza Motorsport 5 and 6 kind of really didn't seem too much better to me than what I remember from Forza Motorsport 3 and 4, but I have not played either of those games for so long, and honestly I don't really remember too much about them. But what I do remember is that I got super bored of Motorsport 3 and 4, just of Motorsport in general, so when Horizon 1 came out, that's pretty much all that I cared to play, and I was kind of fearful of that again, right when I heard about Motorsport 7 coming out. And considering also that I just got Motorsport 5 and 6 a few months back, and I played them just a little bit, and then I really have not touched them since, I was kind of thinking to myself, like, I don't even know if I want to get Motorsport 7. I feel like I won't play it, or I won't care for it, or I'll just get tired of it very quickly. But the thing is, I've been playing Motorsport 6 the last couple of days, and I've actually really been enjoying it. Yeah, it's a different feel than Horizon, and Horizon just has so many more things, which is why I prefer it. There's free roam, and there's street races, and all kinds of different things that Motorsport really just does not have. But Motorsport 6 does have a lot of cool features, and a lot more things that it used to have, from what I remember at least in the older Motorsport games. So considering that, obviously Motorsport 7 is going to have even more. They always add things, they always make the games better, the graphics are going to be better. I mean, 700 plus cars, that's absolutely crazy. I thought that Horizon 3 had a lot with 500 plus, but man, 700 plus, so that should be really cool. But the only thing is, I hope that they're good cars. Like these 700 cars, I hope it's not just a bunch of crap cars that they put in the game. We want to see some cars that are more daily drivers. Like, I'm sure a ton of people would like to see more of that, and we just need more variety. I feel like you go and look at all these Forza games and you look at the cars, and they pretty much all have the same cars. Like DLC cars from Forza Motorsport 6 are cars that just came with Forza Horizon 3. And also another thing I noticed, all the Porsches from the Porsche expansion in Forza Motorsport 6, basically all the cars from that are the cars we're seeing in Forzathon events in Forza Horizon 3. So it'd be nice to see some variety, some new cars, and some cars that we haven't seen for a long time in Forza. Like, there's cars that have been in some of the older motorsports like 3 and 4 and even before that we don't even see anymore in some of these newer games. And I'm sure that there's tons of people that miss cars that are no longer seen in these Forza games. So Volkswagen, for example, it's in Forza Motorsport 6, it's not in Horizon 3 at all. So I know that's one thing that people would really like to see, but the good news is there should be Volkswagen in Forza Motorsport 7 from what I've seen. So that's nice to hear, because I have been hearing people on my channel talking about that and wondering why they're not in Forza Horizon 3. But I just hope we get some new cars, some unique cars, and not just the same old cars that we seem to get almost every year. And the other thing is, the weather dynamics in this game should be really cool, and that's one thing that's completely different that Motorsport has that Horizon 3 really doesn't, is the weather really affects the way you drive. I mean, it limits you a little bit when it rains in Horizon 3. It's a little bit more slippery, but it is nothing like Motorsport. I mean, I was driving the other day and I hit a puddle, and it was the first race that I did going back to Motorsport, and I was like flying all over the racetrack because I hit it, and I was like, oh crap, I completely forgot about that gameplay mechanic, because it just simply doesn't happen in Horizon 3. So that's one thing that's really cool, and the gameplay is certainly a little bit more difficult, I guess I'll say. The handling isn't quite as forgiving and as easy as Horizon 3, but that's the difference between Motorsport and Horizon. Horizon has a arcade style feel to it, but it still has a lot of realism, and it's just like a perfect balance, which is why I love the game, because it just feels so good to play. Now Motorsport on the other hand, Motorsport 6 feels pretty good, but Motorsport 5 felt very weird with the handling, but this game, it feels so much better. It feels very smooth, but it still doesn't feel as smooth as Horizon. It obviously just feels a little bit more difficult to control the cars, and the things that can happen are a lot more challenging, and I kind of like that though, because it does make the games feel different. And the other thing that I really like is one year they make Horizon, and then the next they make Motorsport. So that's one thing that I like, because I think I got bored of Motorsport because that's all they used to make. They made 4 Motorsports in a row and no Horizon. So this is nice because there's some balance and it's not just the same thing all the time. So that kind of makes me feel a lot better about Motorsport 7. But the gameplay looks pretty good. The graphics obviously look really good, and I'm just very excited to see what cars are going to be in the game. And we're also going to be seeing wide body kits, kind of like we did in Horizon 3, which is going to be really cool. And I'm pretty sure we're also going to be seeing Horizon Edition cars, which I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do with those, because there's no skills in Motorsport. So what I was thinking is they're going to give you kind of like the mods from Motorsport 6, where you're pretty much going to get like some type of bonus attribute towards your car with those Horizon Edition cars. But that's pretty much all I have to say today. Let me know what you think about Motorsport 7 so far, and also how you feel about it compared to Horizon. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all again very soon. Peace out.